Even a perfectly engineered infrastructure design will fail commercially if its execution runs wildly over budget or falls behind schedule. Without rigid control mechanisms, an active site can quickly start hemorrhaging capital, eventually grinding to a halt. Preventing that failure is the purpose of construction project management. This is the discipline of planning, coordinating, and controlling a project from the initial architectural design through to final physical completion. This represents the project management triangle, establishing the three interconnected constraints governing every job site decision: scope, cost, and time. These exist in strict equilibrium. Altering any single constraint, like increasing a build scope mid-project, permanently warps the time and cost required. To manage this dynamic trade-off across millions of dollars and thousands of labor hours, engineers rely on mathematical sequencing. They use the critical path method to map out the entire construction process and maintain control over variables of time and cost. Attempting to schedule a macro-scale infrastructure project as a single, unified entity creates an unmanageable density of variables. Looking at this hierarchical tree diagram, we see the work breakdown structure, or WBS. It divides the project into a descending hierarchy of discrete tasks. The WBS categorizes these tasks by physical construction phases, isolating foundation work, mapping steel superstructure, and outlining exterior enclosure. However, this structure has a specific limitation. It establishes an exact inventory of what needs to be built, but it lacks the temporal data of when these actions should occur. Before a viable schedule can exist, project managers must establish logical sequences and operational rules between these isolated tasks. The work breakdown structure is merely a spatial inventory. To become an actionable construction schedule, it requires the application of a rigorous dependency logic. In construction, logical sequences are bound by hard dependencies. These are rules dictated by physical reality, not preference. For example, concrete cannot be poured until the rebar framework is entirely finished. The start of the second task is strictly dependent on the completion of the first. This network diagram illustrates how managers map sequential logic, connecting task boxes with directional arrows. Next, specific time durations are assigned to every node. Finally, the critical path method identifies the single sequence of dependent tasks taking the longest cumulative time to complete. That specific, unbroken pathway through the network model is the critical path. This results in a core scheduling principle. The longest dependent sequence dictates the absolute shortest possible time to complete the entire project. Because these tasks must occur sequentially, they carry an absolute rule regarding schedule variance. Any delay to a task on the critical path results in a direct one-to-one delay for the final delivery date. If a critical pour is delayed by 3 days, the entire project finishes 3 days late. Calculating the critical path transforms thousands of floating variables and independent subtasks into a single predictable timeline that governs the entire construction site. But not every task sits on that rigid timeline. A significant portion of the network diagram consists of tasks falling outside the illuminated critical path. These non-critical tasks possess a property called float or slack. This measures exactly how much time a task can be delayed without pushing the project's overall finish date. This is a Gantt chart, translating the CPM network into an accessible daily schedule by plotting horizontal taskbars against a calendar timeline. It visually displays calculated float, allowing non-critical tasks to slide within their temporal window without breaching the final boundary. Modern project management software scales this logic across potentially thousands of interconnected subtasks, recalculating the available slack continuously as work progresses. Calculating float identifies exactly how much margin is available. Managers use this slack to navigate unexpected job site delays, staggered material deliveries, or temporary labor shortages without compromising the final commercial deadline. While logically sound, a pure CPM calculation assumes an infinite supply of resources, a condition that rarely exists on a job site. Physical construction is bound by finite realities. There is a strict limit on the number of heavy cranes available on site, and a cap on the number of specialized labor crews deployed simultaneously. This Gantt chart shows a scheduling conflict, 2 concurrent tasks requiring the same specific excavation equipment. To fix this, managers use resource leveling, adjusting task timing. The software shifts one task into its available float space, resolving the overlap without extending the final project deadline. Supplying these resources falls under procurement management. Contracting suppliers, securing materials, and scheduling deliveries directly dictates resource availability on the site. Ultimately, a mathematically derived schedule is only viable if it is actively leveled against the physical constraints of procurement logistics and resource availability. With the timeline secured and leveled, attention must shift back to the cost constraint within the project management triangle. This dual line graph overlaying our timeline shows earned value management, or EVM. It is an objective technique that compares the planned budget against actual expenditure at every stage, allowing managers to see if physical construction progress aligns with the capital being spent. This financial equilibrium is continuously threatened by external risks, from unexpected severe weather to sudden material shortages or site conditions that halt production. Often, these risks or mid-project design requests result in change orders, formal, documented modifications to the original project scope. Inserting a change order forces the CPM software to recalculate dependencies. This often consumes available float and pushes the final end date further out. To prevent further unmapped delays, continuous quality and safety management must be integrated across all phases. Meeting building codes and preventing accidents is required to avoid rework or complete site shutdowns. Earned value management and change orders act as a critical feedback loop. They allow project managers to quantify the exact cost of disruptions and adjust the triangle in real time to keep the build viable. These complex scheduling models are not kept in isolation. They are actively shared and updated across an entire project ecosystem. Modern construction relies on cloud-based software platforms to give owners, architectural designers, and general contractors real-time access to the CPM schedules and progress data. This shared data serves a secondary legal function. In an industry where delay claims and financial disputes are common, accurate, well-documented schedule records are essential for protecting all parties involved. Increasingly, this timeline data is being integrated directly into the spatial designs themselves. Through building information modeling, schedules and physical coordinates merge, allowing computers to simulate the entire construction sequence before a shovel hits the dirt. Mastering project management ensures that massive infrastructure actually gets built, on time and within budget. But before we model the structures, we have to understand the forces acting upon them. In the next episode, we shift our focus to water resources engineering and hydraulics, looking at how engineers design infrastructure to control the movement of water itself.